Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Space. So in today's video we are going to cover ICP, its recent price action, couple of interesting tweets and couple of interesting charts as well. So if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and a quick disclaimer, this video isn't a financial advice. So now without any further ado, let's hop into ICP itself. So as we can see over here, ICP is currently trading at $12.70 and it saw a downtrend momentum of 4.4%, and that isn't necessarily bad, I think. But let's have a look at market cap. Market cap is currently sitting at $5.8 billion and 24-hour trading volume is currently sitting at 93 million USD. So okay, that chart doesn't really necessarily look great. However, I do believe that this is just a beginning, but we are going to get into the charts a bit later. First, let's cover this tweet over here. So as we can see over here, Helix Markets just launched and entered the world of DeFi on ICP with a bang. So there is a meetup over here, and you can definitely check it out if you are going to go into Definity, Twitter, or X actually page. All right, so that is great. Obviously ICP is developing constantly, and I like to see those meetups going on all the time across the globe. That is great. And now I do believe that this is something that's very interesting to point out. A couple of features of ICP, I'm going to read them for you guys, so bear with me. All right, so unveiling the potential, why internet computer is a game changer in blockchain investments. Why ICP deserves a closer look, infinite scaling capabilities for limitless transactions per second. Cost efficiency, storing 1 GB of data on ICP costs $5 per year, significantly less than Ethereum and Solana. Multi-chain vision, fostering seamless communication between blockchains for a truly decentralized future. User benefits, canisters, the smart contracts on ICP serve web content directly to the end users, making blockchain services more accessible. So one thing that points out to me is that multi-chain vision fostering. So I do believe that ICP is going to basically be that gate to the Web3 pretty much that we are entering right now. I don't see a huge adoption yet, right? Because it's only insiders pretty much, like people that are interested genuinely into investing into crypto. And of course, every cycle there are more and more people coming in. However, we don't see that huge level of adoption in Web3 yet, is in comparison to Web2. So I do believe that we are still very early in ICP. But okay, let's talk some numbers for ICP. So TVL is currently sitting at $34.9 million. Well, pretty much almost 35. So if we are going to see how much of TVL pretty much rose in the last 2 days ever since I made the last video, let's have a look. So the first video that I made on ICP was on the 10th of February, which is not really significant increase in terms of TVL, but that is still something, I believe. All right, so we have covered that, and now if we are going to look over here, the total staked ICP is currently sitting at 47.7%. So pretty much 0.2% is being unstaked. So people are pretty much unstaking their ICP and possibly selling for profits. But okay, let's look at this chart. This is something interesting that I would like to point out. So that chart represents number of addresses with balance over 100,000 ICP. As we can see over here, that chart leads us back to October 2023, and we can see that that exponential growth for ICP holders over 100,000 ICP. So that is obviously great, and obviously accumulation is still ongoing. So that is interesting. And now let's finally have a look into ICP. So if you are following my previous updates in terms of ICP, you pretty much remember of what is my vision for the next move for ICP. So as we can see over here, we are experiencing that ascending triangle, which looks very, very bullish given the market momentum as well. So I have measured the target before, but let me do it one more time for the purposes of this video. So if I'm going to measure it that way over here, roughly, okay, and if I'm going to put it over here, that's going to be basically the same length of that green arrow that is going to put ICP above the major resistance level of $24. As we can see over here, breaking that resistance level over here is very, very important on a daily, because it leads us back to the previous levels in 2022. So if we are going to break this resistance level, that's going to be very bullish for ICP in general. But of course, that is going to take a while, because let me zoom in. If we are going to see, we've got pretty much a couple of days left, I would say around 20 days to pretty much leave that pattern, and we just do have to be patient, right? I'm not saying that this is going to happen on the 10th of March, don't get me wrong. This is the possibility that I do see in the chart, not a financial advice, of course. But all right, let's cover a couple of interesting things for ICP and altcoins as well, and I'm going to come back to the chart very soon. So Altcoin market cap reminds me of the previous bull run, where price broke out of the downtrend and it was consolidating above the point of breakout for 14 to 15 weeks before it went vertical. First of all, shout out to the Scalping Pro on X. As we can see over here, we are pretty much in the same spot as we were in the 2020-2021 bull cycle over here. And if we are going to pretty much consolidate a little bit, I don't think that is a big problem, because as we can see over here in the previous bull cycle, this is exactly the same thing that happened, and after that last consolidation we saw a huge parabola, and that chart suggests the same thing, right? So many people seem caught up in the short-term price action, but the bigger picture looks incredibly bullish. Look at the bullish cross on MACD, suggesting a shift in the longer-term trend for bear to bull. So as we can see over here, that's pretty much no-brainer. In the previous bull cycle, this is basically what happened, and that line represents halving too as well. And obviously we've got this bullish cross on MACD. So all of the charts are pretty much telling us that ICP and of course other alts and general market is going to see a green god candles very, very soon. But let's have a look at this chart over here. This is very interesting. Obviously that chart is very, very bullish. However, hear me out. Similar to previous cycles, the last altcoin cycle peaked at the 3.618 Fibonacci trend, reaching approximately 1.7 trillion USD. So what's next on the Fibonacci trend? The next peak could be around 6.8 trillion when the cycle patterns repeat. So of course, if that cycle is going to repeat, and if we are going to peak on 3.168 Fibonacci trend, that will be very beautiful. Obviously, that will be like a huge cycle on crypto. However, I do see that coming is definitely not out of the question, given the fact of how much old money from the traditional markets is flowing into crypto. Obviously, first BTC and then alts, and also the BTC ETFs as well. That is obviously a huge inflow of people that never had an access to Bitcoin and crypto in general before. But now, thanks to BlackRock, these people pretty much have trust towards Bitcoin. And obviously what comes with that? A huge injection of money. But let's have a look at this chart over here for alts as well, of course. So altcoins and the WOF method. So as we can see over here, we are pretty much exiting that phase D. So that is pretty much a parabola starter for altcoins as well. We are going to enter phase E very, very soon. And the last chart, let's have a look over here. Altcoins last cycle versus altcoins this cycle. So shared this chart with you at the absolute bottom in 2022. Back then, 90% were laughing out there. And first of all, shout out to L-Crypto-Prof on X. As we can see over here, we are pretty much experiencing the same thing as in the previous cycle, right? We had this mid-correction over here, and then we saw basically this sideways price consolidation, and then we had a parabolic curve. So as we can see over here, we already had the mid-correction, and we are in that yellow zone over here. So that tells me that we are ready to fly. So obviously, I do think, based on everything over here that I showed you, all of these charts, based on this, I don't think that $24 in coming, let's say 2-3 weeks, it's a big deal for ICP. I think ICP can easily see these prices, given the fact that RSI is currently sitting at 54, so it's not in overbought territory at all. It has already consolidated, and I do believe that ICP is ready for the next move. All right, so let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about this, about that? And yep, that's about it. Thank you very much, and peace and love, crypto.